Damn, we're really running low on ideas this year, aren't we? If you grew up watching Avatar on Nickelodeon when it was first airing, or reruns on Nicktoons like I did, then chances are you probably remember the Chibi shorts. At least, I think they aired on TV, because I vaguely remember these things, even though the Avatar wiki only says they were released as DVD extras. Maybe it was the internet, I don't know. Point is, I've known that these things have existed for a long ass time, but I've never actually seen them. But luckily for me, they're all uploaded to YouTube in glorious 360p by the official Avatar YouTube channel. The worst person you know just made a really good point. So today, we'll be taking a look at these Avatar Chibi shorts and seeing just what all the fuss is about them. I'm your host, MattCMG, so sit back, relax, and get ready for me to fondle your funny bone as we take a look at these super deformed shorts. Wait, what? No, seriously, apparently these things are actually called the super deformed shorts. You guys may want to rethink that name. Did not age too well. May as well have just gone out and called it the fucking Progerian shorts or something fucked up like that. No, don't turn me into a marketable chibi. Ah! So the history of these shorts is actually pretty scarce, but from what I was able to find, the Avatar team made these shorts as a fun way of parodying themselves. As a result, they have a lot of meta humor that was likely influenced by the landscape of the fandom at the time. They were low-key ahead of their time with this kind of thing, because these things are like Teen Titans Go before Teen Titans Go. You know, this non-canon parody that exists solely to poke fun at itself, you know what I mean? The first of these shorts is called Bending Battle, which is exactly what it sounds like. Aang, Katara, and Toph are all debating what the best element is, when Zuko comes in to proclaim that fire is the best, so the four all show off the amazing feats that their elements can do. These shorts are obviously not canon, so they play it really fast and loose with the bending feats. Toph creates an entire mountain range with relative ease, Aang just straight up flies to space and back, bit of a Guru Lahima moment, and Zuko rides on a fucking dragon made of lava. Motherfucker's deadass been in the wrong element, but it's badass, so who really gives a shit? They really did my man Sokka dirty in this one. He gets the shit beat out of him, shattered into tiny pieces, and has a sonic inflation moment. Were they horny when they made this? When Amon said Bender oppression was real, this is what he's talking about. Something I really appreciate about these shorts is the art direction. Obviously, the characters are all chibified, but I think that chibi comes with the false assumption that you can't do a lot with that, but I think these shorts demonstrate that it's quite the opposite. Bending Battle has a few good examples of this. I really like Toph's chibi design where they don't draw her eyes, a lot of the movement is really well animated, and they'll even change art styles for a quick joke. In one of my anime videos, I mentioned how the animation in Fooly Cooly was a big inspiration for the Avatar team, and while that's a bit noticeable in Season 1, you can definitely see it in these chibi shorts. The second short is Swamp Skiin Throwdown, which has Sokka hanging out with the swamp benders and learning how to water ski to mixed results. This is the second one in a row where they're doing Sokka dirty, man. Come on. Put some respect on Sokka's name, bro. There's not much to this one aside from the slapstick, but come on, we weren't expecting fucking Shakespeare here, now were we? This one actually gives me Mad Peanut vibes. Much like Charlie Brown, Sokka just keeps taking L's, and as soon as he gets a W, he still loses. I know these things obviously aren't canon, but it kind of bothers me how out of character Aang seems here. Like, sure, Aang is fun-loving and good at stuff like this, but the way he treats Sokka here is kind of a dick move. You know, the real Aang would celebrate Sokka's success. He'd be happy for him. If Sokka is Charlie Brown, then Aang definitely has some Lucy vibes in this one. Not really much to say about this short. It's fun, but not my favorite. I will say though, this is probably the first and only time we will ever see Sokka's bare ass.
What, like you're ready to go right now, naked guy?
I can be ready in 2 minutes. Seriously, whenever.
The last of the Avatar shorts is the one I'm sure most people are familiar with for reasons that will be made very clear soon enough. School time shipping. This one takes all of our beloved characters and puts them all in a school setting, and it plays really heavily into the shipping wars that were going around at the time, and even today to a lesser degree. Avatar Roku, as a teacher, announces the upcoming school dance. Sokka doesn't know whether to ask Suki or Yue to the dance, which is pretty funny, very tongue-in-cheek. Fuck the last Agni Kai, I want to see how this fight plays out. The rest of this short follows Aang trying to ask Katara to the dance, but is having trouble competing with Junko fucking Inoshima. The rest of the short follows Aang trying to ask Katara to the dance, but is having trouble competing with Zuko, Jet, and Haru. They knew exactly what they were doing when they wrote this. Jet for obvious reasons, Haru because
I knew it! You did have a secret thing with Haru!
And Zuko for even more obvious reasons. They actually had another Zutara moment in the Bending Battle short, but it reappears here as a main plot point. Interesting fact about Zutara is that Mike and Brian actually considered making it a thing at some point. In early stages of the show's development, Zuko was also meant to be a romantic rival to Aang. The Ember Island players almost became canon. They ultimately scrapped the idea at some point very early on and opted to make Katang endgame, but I like how they still used the idea in a different way here, even if it's a lot more meta. Anyways, Aang goes about trying to ask Katara in very varying different ways. The direct approach doesn't work, so he goes for the classic note method. Apparently, Aang didn't sign his name on this thing because Katara mistakes that the note is from Bumi, and that plan fails as well. Hey, hang on. If all the older characters are teachers and all the other characters are all aged down, does Katara think Bumi is a pedophile? If so, did she say something about it? King Bumi, yet another victim of cancel culture. Really fucking did him dirty, huh? Aang goes to see the guidance counselor, who just so happens to be good old Uncle Iroh. Iroh? High-key would be the best guidance counselor, no fucking cap. This conversation gives Aang the idea to use the clouds to ask Katara to the dance, so with some help from Teo, Aang pulls from his old playbook and messes with the clouds much like in The Fortune Teller. Wait. Why the fuck did he need Teo's help? I think we've established that Aang can literally fly in this continuity. What's he need this dude for? Katara rejects Zuko, Jet, and Haru, but luckily for pre-mustache Haru, he's just Ty Lee's type, and they end up getting together, which is kinda wholesome. I ship it. Anyways, Aang finally asks Katara to the dance, but she rejects him as well. Aang's ass gets fucking Thanos, revealing Katara's real date to be none other than the Blue Spirit. That just sounds like Zutara with extra steps. Overall, I think school time shipping, while kind of cringe as a premise, is probably the best of these chibi shorts. It's a cute way to see characters interact who never had a chance to in the show, and is filled to the brim with references and cameos from other characters, like how Wan Shi Tong is the librarian. Oh my god, I fucking love this design. Rowlet looking ass. This is probably the best animated out of the three, with a very fast-paced style that's not afraid to squash and stretch. They were actually animated by the same studio as the main show, sharing a few key animators, so I could definitely appreciate that. These shorts are definitely the product of the time that they were made in, which is either really cringe or really nostalgic depending on how you look at it. The style just oozes with that early 2000s anime humor you'd see in shows like Naruto or Fullmetal Alchemist. Like I said earlier, they're kind of like Teen Titans Go in the sense that there are these obviously non-canon takes on the source material that does not take themselves too seriously. It's just the creators poking fun at themselves, which I honestly don't think we see enough of these days. That's all there is for the super deformed shorts, but that's not all there is for Avatar Chibi shorts. Back in 2013, right before season 2 of Legend of Korra was set to air, Nickelodeon aired Republic City Hustle, a 3-part series of shorts detailing the lives of Mako and Bolin before the events of the series. I actually had no idea that this existed until a viewer told me about it on stream over at twitch.tv/MattCMGYT, go follow me there or you're a loser. But I've never actually seen this before, so let's get into it. We open with Mako and Bolin pulling a scam on an old lady, showing us how they lived on the streets for so long. They return to the Triple Threats to find Shady Shin making a deal with Toza to throw his next pro bending match. If Toza looks familiar, it's because he's the guy who runs the gym that we see once or twice in the first season. He's a character that you don't really think twice about, so it's kind of nice that they made him somewhat relevant, even if it's in not that big of a way. Bolin really looks up to Toza and is sad to see him accepting bribes to throw his matches, but Mako tries to assure him that you gotta do what you must to survive. Humility didn't save their parents, so why should they care?
He got paid. You didn't see any pro benders crying for us when mom and dad died and we got dumped on the street.
Shady Shin sends the brothers to collect bets for the match, which is where Bolin meets Pabu, who is slated to be dinner for the Pythonaconda. That is a stupid fucking name. I can tolerate some of these other Avatar creatures, but the Pythonaconda I draw the fucking line at. Bolin unfortunately doesn't have the money to buy Pabu off of him, so he sadly has to move on. He then sees Toza in the street and tells him that he doesn't need to throw the match and that he should maintain his integrity as an athlete, to which Toza disagrees. Later that night, Bolin comes back to the pet shop to save the little fire ferret's life, to which Mako has to save his ass. They get away with Pabu, now a member of the family. The last third brings us to the pro bending arena where Mako, Bolin, and the Triple Threats are watching Toza about to throw the match. At the last minute, he decides not to, and Bolin lets it slip that it was because he told him to. This results in a fight with the Triple Threats, which is cut short when Lightning Bolt Zolt calls Shady Shin off. Instead of going back with the Triple Threats, Bolin wants to stay with Toza and train as a pro bender. Mako doesn't seem to want to, but he goes along with his brother, just to keep an eye on him. Now, it's actually kind of a lie to call this a chibi short because it's not really chibi-fied. The art style is actually more reminiscent of like a children's pop-up book, kind of like a Paper Mario type beat, and it's very cute and unique, but I don't think that it really fits the story they were going for here. Like, it's kind of this gritty crime tale with this colorful, child-friendly art style, though I'll chalk that up to Bolin's imagination literally looking like this. Everything in motion just looks kind of off, and the fight scenes don't really flow that well because the motion is so stiff. At times, it looks like it was made in fucking Go Animate or some shit. It's kind of bizarre. It's perfectly fine for a short, but I probably wouldn't want to see a full series in this style unless they did a lot of cleanup on it. Overall though, this was a cute little origin story. Like, we didn't need to know how Mako and Bolin left the Triple Threats and became pro benders, but it's fun to know nonetheless. The characters are consistent, the story is wholesome with a nice message about integrity, and as far as I'm aware, this is canon, albeit very inconsequential. Cute, wholesome, poggers would recommend for Korra fans. So, those have been all the chibi shorts of the Avatar universe, and honestly, they were more fun than I was expecting. The Avatar ones were some fun romps in a non-canon setting, while Republic City Hustle has a lot of style. If you have like really young kids and want to get them into Avatar but aren't quite old enough to appreciate the actual shows, maybe start them off with these. And who knows, maybe with Avatar Studios they'll give us more stuff like this. I would genuinely fucking love to see like a Teen Titans Go style Avatar show where it's just like the chibi shorts but in a longer format. I would fucking love that, unironically. Plus, there's also stuff in there for the more attentive fans of the actual shows. So hey, it's a win-win, really. But that's all I have for this video, so leave a like if you enjoyed. Let me know in the comments down below what your favorite Avatar short was, and subscribe so you don't miss the rest of this month's Avatar videos, and be sure to check out my Patreon to help support the channel. I've been MattCMG, and I'll see you next week. Thanks for watching.